who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Smoking Guns Thursday, Jerky Thursday, here at The Ticket. December 11th, 2025. Bock.
Great day to be alive.
Bock, I wanted to talk about a young man. I know his dad, and I've seen the highlights on this kid. I did a little homework on him. Amarion Jackson. Amarion is a record-breaking receiver / safety at Millard, what's that, South?
I believe so.
Millard South. He backed out of his commit he got out of his national letter of intent yesterday from Iowa State after, the coach left.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a small class, Bock. I was thinking maybe Nebraska should go after this kid. He can play receiver. He can play safety. We need to get that connection back with the Nebraska kids because not signing only one kid out of this 26 class Bock, it could be damaging in the future when we talk about Matt Rule and the Omaha Tide, because I know Scott Frost did a not so good job with the Omaha schools, and Mickey went up there and tried to calm it down. Matt Rule did go up there, but this year, Bock, we only got one kid out of Omaha when we talk about recruiting-wise.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see, Matt Rule did talk about some of the in-state kids on signing day and how some of them just didn't show a whole lot of interest. Some of them didn't meet Nebraska standards. So as we know, there's like 17 D1 kids signed in Nebraska, so it's an especially good year, but happened to be year Nebraska football also took 10 guys in the class, and are planning on using a lot of their open scholarships in the portal. So interesting if Amarion Jackson happened to be one of those guys that maybe they just kind of lost along the way, but were close in on. Maybe you could see that pop back out, but I don't believe he ever received an offer from the Huskers as of yet. He's that caliber of an athlete. He's got offers from Iowa State, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas State, Minnesota, Northwestern. Of course, we mentioned Iowa State he did commit to originally, but it could be a possibility, but because he didn't receive the offer yet this late in the game, I would say it's probably a long shot.
All right, Byron the Hawk Farmer says, we got a 5-star next year. That's the Pittman kid. He's a what, DB?
Yeah, safety.
Yeah. Are you a firm believer in 5 stars or the star system, Bob?
I think there's a lot to it. It's not everything, but there is a lot to it. 5 stars generally do turn out to be more successful than 4 stars. 4-star and 3-star hit rate can be somewhat closer to each other. And then, of course, you kind of maybe rank them differently based on what your expectation was. Not every 5-star turns out to be the next great thing, but they're generally pretty darn, more often than not. They have the athletic ability. That's kind of what puts them into that category of like, man, this guy's trending upward. Like a Marlon Lucky would be a good kind of case of a 5-star that maybe wasn't the next Reggie Bush, right? But he was very much somebody that helped Nebraska while he was on campus. So, I think in general, there's holes in the recruiting system. There's holes in recruiting in general. I always say this: you can kind of knock those the recruiting websites or recruiting rankings. Well, coaches don't hit 100% either. It's tough. There's a lot of kind of different things that can kind of affect it. But if given the choice, if Nebraska can get 5 stars or not, or have more of them on campus, I'm definitely leaning into them.
I'm more of a system guy, not really a system guy. I love star guys. I love players like Jeremiah Smith. He's lived up to that hike. When you look at the 24 class on 24/7, Jeremiah Smith, he's still the number one guy out of that class. You can go down to Ellis Robinson the fifth. Haven't heard too much of him yet. He's at Georgia. DJ Lagway probably needs to change schools.
Yeah.
Probably needs to change schools. Cam Coleman, he had a good year.
Yeah.
$1 million receiver, 1.5. We read about him yesterday. He has another partner that's with him that's probably equal or better than him. But at the same time, these guys are good. Number 6, William Noeli. Went to Missouri.
Yeah.
Transferred back here. I think this kid has a good upside.
Yeah.
I really do. The thing that I hate about Nebraska on defense that we switch out too much, Bob. Let them play. Let them play. Let them tap out itself. I'm a firm believer, Bock, that taking a player out after 1 or 2 plays, Bock, it messes up the groove of the player. And it messes up the groove of the defense when you have to switch in and out. 4 guys come in, 4 guys come out. You know, it's just not football-like to me, Bock. You know, you try to say, well, we try to know. Let them go till they get tired. I've tapped out before, Bock. I have. I mean, if I played probably a 10-play series one time, come back down, we get the ball back, Bock. No, 10-play series, they punt. Our offense get the ball, score in 1 play, Bock. I have to run back down there on kickoff, Bock, then play 2 plays on defense. I'm tapping my head. Come get me, coach. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to tap out.
Yeah.
All right, Bock, let's read some more of these guys. 5-star Dylan Riola. Not had the year we would say, the 2 years. He has to really have a great year if he's going to be here or not. That's to be continued.
Yeah.
But he has to have a 5,000-yard season if he wants to go to the pros next year. If not, he's a 4-year kid in school.
I don't know about 5,000.
Well,
I think,
he has to get better.
Yeah, he does have to get better. And, I think it is time, too, and when we have these conversations, whether it's Waneri or Dylan Riola or anybody else on that list, some 5 stars can come in and make a huge difference. I think a lot of people are going to be looking at Danny Odom and think, hey, maybe he could be a key contributor already next year. And that is possible, again, based on usually their athletic profile. But like a Williams Waneri is a perfect example of a guy that, is going to have to kind of come into it on his own. And we're seeing him do that. It's happening in front of our eyes. It just might not happen as quickly as you wanted it to. And Dylan Riola very much in that conversation as well. Reminder that he was on pace to set several Nebraska single season records, passing the ball. And I understand Nebraska not a historically great passing school, but I mean, we're talking about a sophomore quarterback here. And in his first 2 years, if you would ask me 2 years ago, if Riola can get you to 2 bowl games, would that be a success? Yeah. Obviously, we kind of moved the goalposts and want more after year 1. But so there have been some things that have been done well. But I mean, I can agree with you too. And, at this point in his career, not necessarily wouldn't be drafted at the top of the draft boards. He's going to have a breakout season his junior season, whether that be here or elsewhere.
No, Riola didn't help us get to a bowl game. The whole football team helped us get to a bowl game.
Well, he hadn't done it in 7 years.
So I'm not giving the credit to a quarterback.
Well, he's going to get part of the credit.
I'm giving credit to the whole team, Bock.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing. We gave Tommy a lot of the credit because he was the man. But when you come on that defensive side, we had 5 guys that was the man on that defense. I mean, you had Amon Green. I mean, I love Tommy. Tommy was the hardest soul of our team, but Dylan's not the hardest soul of this team right here. Emmett was right there. I give it, if you want to give it to anybody, I give it to Emmett.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the quarterback position, naturally a leadership position. He definitely is a leader in charge there.
Hold on.
I mean, he's the captain. Single digit. Could have had single digit numbers, I suppose. He went to stick with his 15.
Keep going, Bob. Keep going.
I know you don't always like his leadership style.
He doesn't have leadership style.
Well,
he has self-interest style, like running out before everybody else. Team runs out together.
Well, clearly he disagrees. He wants to lead the team. And I think that was part of maybe him coming to Nebraska was, I want to have the ability to be the leader on this team.
There's no I in team, Bob. You know that, don't you? All right, let's get back to some more. Let's get back to some more.
Of all the different paths, there's plenty of different paths to go down.
Yeah, it's plenty. So, yeah, I mean, but I hope the kid stays. It's not nothing against them, but this whole team needs to be able to play as a team. I mean, we should not be able to single out one person. You got to look at the defensive part, just like we tell people about the 95. Without scoring 64 points, we could have gave up 65 points, but we only gave up 10 points, really, because when you look at it, our third and fourth string gave up more points. So, but all right, Bock, let me see who else we got here. You know one of these guys on this 25? Oh, Julius Sayin.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Julius Sayin. Let's see who else.
Nobody else you see?
KJ Bolin. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a safety at Georgia. He plays a lot. Don't know too many of these other kids. Jordan Seton, a Colorado kid. Maybe we should go get him.
Yeah, he's definitely had his name out there. I was trying to see what class you look at 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's going to be some names that are going to be more slowly developing. You already mentioned like Ryan Williams. I mean, some guys that just kind of pop out and break out right away. And some guys that'll never live up to the expectation.
But the reason I talk about Amarion Jackson, because he's a homegrown kid. Nothing against having homegrown kids on your team. This kid can play. I hate to see him end up at a Penn State or even or Alabama and try to reunite with his quarterback. But you have to see that a kid like that backed out. You got to give him not a chance, but you got to talk to him.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we have to keep that connection with Omaha football, because it can get better than what it is. I mean, I think this year was probably, I wouldn't say a down year when you look at Millard South when they got 17 kids signed D1 contracts.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a down year here. I mean, there's some other names on here I can see, like Dylan Stewart at South Carolina, I think has made a name for himself a little bit. Colin Simmons of Texas. So, it's not every five-star. Ryan Wingo at Texas, even, I think Nebraska fans familiar with him at least. Xavier Mincy has played at Alabama as a cornerback. So, again, there's a lot of these five stars do kind of come to fruition. It kind of takes time. Sometimes maybe better go back and look at classes from beforehand and kind of see how they played out. But
they usually have a lot of them on TikTok. Like, where are they now? The 2000.
Yeah.
I mean, like this. 1562 said, I would rather much see the staff concentrate their effort on Farley's home turf in Georgia. Taking any Nebraska prep athlete is a gamble because they don't play against relevant competition, so you can't elevate their football abilities. I've told this Bock once. I told Rashawn once. I told Mickey once. I tell anybody else, Georgia has the best football in the world. High school.
Yeah.
High school.
I think they had the number one ranked team at last I checked.
Buford.
Across the country.
Buford jumped up there.
Yeah. So you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Or at least close to it.
Eric, hush your mouth.
Eric's always bothering you.
I know. I at least got to call his name one today we're going to do a live remote at Eric's job one day and see how he like it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to break, Bock, and when we come back, I don't even want to jump on this part, Bock, but all this news today, Michigan coach.
Oof.
What a night he had. What a day he had. 93.7 the ticket. Bock in the black shirt. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to make a difference this holiday season? Schwiezo Construction and TMCO are hosting a diaper drive December 5th through the 19th. They're collecting diapers, pull-ups, and wipes to benefit TMCO Prep Academy, the Nebraska Diaper Bank, and Forward. Drop off your donations at Schwiezo Construction, 93.7 The Ticket, Pine Lake Self-Storage, or White Elm Brewery. Together, we care for our community. For more information, please visit Schwiezo Construction's website or Facebook page today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your wake at forecast for today. We'll see partly sunny skies with a light breeze and an afternoon high around 50. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies, be breezy, the low around 26. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly cloudy skies, be breezy and colder, an afternoon high near 34. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Make Hog Wild the centerpiece of your holiday meal. Pre-order a 4-pound boneless ham for $50, a 12-pound whole smoked turkey, or a 4-pound turkey breast for $55. A complete meal includes your choice of a whole turkey or turkey breast, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, green beans or corn, and a dozen rolls for $130. Pre-order online at GoHogWild.com soon. Quantities are limited. All weights are approximate before cooking. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at CoppellCars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends. The holidays are here, and there's every reason to make Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina part of your plans. Are you heading to a Nebraska basketball game? Stop at Tipsy Tina's before or after for delicious tacos. Meeting friends for drinks for an ugly sweater get-together? Enjoy Tipsy Tina's variety of margaritas. And if you're not sure about what to get for a gift this year, Tipsy Tina's gift cards are always a great idea. Don't forget about the event space at Salt next door to Tipsy Tina's. All of them located in the Haymarket at 8th and Q.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are powered
By
Bauer,
infrastructure,
Bauer,
underground,
Brett.
excavating.
Bock, how can you keep that same voice like that? Let's do it. Let's do it. Powered by
Power,
infrastructure,
power,
underground. See, I got it just like
yeah,
it.
you got it.
All right, Bock. Bock. Husker man basketball team blows out Wisconsin in the Big Ten opener to stay perfect at 10-0 for the second time in school history. You're a basketball guy, Bock. It's on you.
Oh, yeah. I think Nebraska men's basketball has everybody in this town very excited for what they're being able to do. It's a weird feeling. I got to admit, I'm 35 years old, was not around for the last 10-0 start in the late 70s. So it's a different feeling. And then, not just that, but getting it done against your rivals. Each of the last two times out, Nebraska beating Creighton 71-50, and then Wisconsin 90-60. So again, not just beating them, but bludgeoning them. Unfamiliar territory for a Husker fan, but I think I can get used to it. This is a lot of fun. Nebraska now will have this matchup against Illinois coming up on Saturday between ranked teams. Nebraska feels like a ranked team that might be here to stick. And again, that would be getting something that you'd have to get familiar with as a Nebraska fan. But I mean, just if you're looking at last night, what an incredible game. For a while, Wisconsin was able to kind of keep it close. Then a big run at the end of the first half allowed Nebraska to jump to a 47-31 lead and did not look back. Second half, they outscored the Badgers 43-29 as well. And I think the most promising part of this game, and there were plenty of them, is just the fact that you can see guys in front of your eyes growing and getting better, despite the fact that the record is unblemished. I think Berke Buchtengel probably had close to his best game, coming off a career high 13 rebounds against Creighton. Came out here, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. He's always going to be a factor on the defensive end with his length. Is it 2 for 2 from beyond the arc? Came into the game 2 for 20. So that certainly helps the percentages there. But you can see him getting better. Price Hanford and Rink Mass. I mean, Price is a new player that Nebraska is kind of getting used to. But man, is he pretty darn consistent. Not always going to hit every three, but always to be a threat to help kind of spread you out. Consistency, that belongs to Rink Mass. 17 points, 10 rebounds to lead Nebraska in both categories. Again, didn't have his best effort from beyond the arc, but was able to do a lot inside the paint, as was the rest of the Huskers. Jamarcus Lawrence, 5 points, but 7 assists, which is a season high, I believe, career high for him as well. And then Sam Hoiberg getting to 12 points, on 5 and 7 shooting. He's been very effective. Some unique finishes at the glass. And again, he's no longer a surprise. But my point with all those guys, then you throw Frager coming off the bench, is, I think among them, you're seeing them get better as the season goes on. The chemistry is only going to get better. The only thing that can get in the way of this team, in my mind, is injuries. Of course, had the season-ending injury earlier to Connor Esetian. He'll be able to come back next year, so that's kind of promising there. But if this team can stay healthy, they just put so much stress on you as far as spreading the court offensively, and have become better and are getting better at cutting to the basket and finding those guys. And then defensively, obviously, this was a Wisconsin team averaging close to 88 points. You held them to a season low 60 points, and more than willing with Wisconsin to kind of have a shoot off there with beyond the arc. And Wisconsin was willing as well. Nebraska did a good job holding their opponents down to 22% from beyond the arc, while Nebraska shot 37%. 34% floor altogether for Wisconsin, while Nebraska shot 54%. And then what can really bury a team, as usual, is those free throws. Wisconsin, usually a 70% free throw shooting team, and they were good this past night as well. 9 of 11, 82% from the floor, or from the free throw line. Nebraska, 87%. Hard to get a whole lot better than that. 13 of 15 from the floor when they're doing well. You're also seeing, again, like I said earlier, cutting at the right time, making the right passes out to open teammates. 20 assists for the Huskers. 10 turnovers, probably more than you'd like to see, but that's, it's aggressive brand of basketball. 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Nobody's going to turn that down. 4 steals, 6 blocks, just a stat stuffing night as part of a 90-point win. And again, Nebraska 10-0 start for the first time since 1978, or ties the record. Now with the chance to go on the road and break that record and get to Nebraska to 11-0 for the first time. Again, a little bit of uncharted territory for Husker fans, but Nebraska basketball is about to take over the city, I believe.
But when we watched Nebraska last year during basketball scene, they seem to get outmatched when we talk about big guys. How the big guys we got this year, how are they doing?
Well, I think they're just blending together, right? Rink Mass, obviously a really great college basketball player. Limited as far as kind of his jumping ability, but that's where the kind of the length of Berke Buchtengel helps out quite a bit. Up until last night, he had not been shooting well, but it's still his effort, his tenacity, going after rebounds, and just again his length on the defensive end has been good. They're going to get Ugi Ursavicius back here late in this month. Not yet for the Illinois game, but they're targeting those non-con games at the end of this month here. So that could definitely help in the front court as well. And you got to give a tip of the cap to guys that come in and can get after it. Now, Braden Frager might not be a guy that you would traditionally line up at center or going to go up against 7-footers or anything, but he does have length and athleticism to kind of play big as well. We know Kel Jacobson can play any role on the court. Again, not always going to have the best size, but then that's where you look at even a good night. And I'm glad you asked that question, but because I didn't get to it yet, is from Jared Garcia, a guy that hadn't played as much, hasn't had as big of a role. I mentioned it after Creighton. He did not get a bump in minutes because Connor Essien was out for the season, but he did last night. And part of that maybe as a necessity, but he showed what he can do out there as well. In 13 minutes, got 8 points, 4 or 5 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So it's nice. They've got a few options even at the end of their bench that maybe if called upon could certainly help. But that's kind of where they're standing now. Are they going to match up with some of the more athletic teams across the country? Maybe not. Might have a little bit of a problem there. But again, Nebraska's built in a way that if they're hitting their 3-point shots, they could kind of counteract that a little bit. So there might be teams that can kind of overwhelm them athletically here and there, but Nebraska's help defense, everything they do is to try to take it out of your opportunity at getting to the hole and take away those lanes is they're going to make you shoot. And so again, some better shooting teams might be a tough matchup for Nebraska as well. But Nebraska has the guns to try to outshoot them as well. So I feel like as we watch this Nebraska team grow and get better, and yes, we might be a little bit biased, but I don't think this is a flash in the pan or some sort of fluke or anything. This looks like a top 25 basketball team that can compete on a given night with most teams across the country.
All right, Bock, we'll see Saturday night, December 13th, when they go to Illinois to take on number 13 Illinois, and it'll be 3 o'clock on Peacock.
Yeah.
And then they got North Dakota State, New Hampshire, then number 9, Michigan State here, January 2nd. We got to try to get some tickets for that game, Bock.
Yeah, especially if Nebraska beats Illinois. They're all than likely not going to slip up against North Dakota and New Hampshire. At that point, you could be talking about a top 15 matchup if Michigan State takes care of their end of the bargain. By the way, that will also be on Peacock. So get your Peacock subscription here if you want to watch Nebraska basketball here in the next month or so.
Ooh, I'm glad I didn't keep Peacock. I mean, not saying it because of the basketball, because, just getting different subscriptions to all these cable channels, Bob, you end up paying $200-$300 a month.
It can be
just to watch some stuff. I'm thinking about taking off Netflix now because I haven't watched it in so long. I don't know. I'll keep it just for just in case.
Yeah,
just in case. All right, Bob. Let's hit down to the Bock 2027 3-star defensive lineman Jaden Travers committed to the Huskers. 6'3", 260 pounds out of Maryland. Now the 27 class sits at number 5 nationally as of now, Bock.
Yeah, looks like a pretty good get for Nebraska considering who else was in on him. Again, he picked Nebraska over Michigan and Miami. I mean, he had offers from lots of different schools going through this. Tennessee, Texas A&M, to name a few of them. Pittsburgh's a pretty good program. But like I said, I mean, Florida State, Miami, and Michigan. So those are some big-time offers. And again, so sometimes this is where the star system, it's there, but it's also okay if, a handful of the best teams in the country want him. I assume that he's a pretty darn good player, and that's what Nebraska gets in him. It's interesting. I think the timing of this happened, of course, after Nebraska let go of Terry Braden. There is no defensive line coach for Nebraska right now, so I think that's interesting. Maybe and maybe beneficial for the Huskers. Not necessarily committing because of a positional coach, and of course, everybody commits for their different reasons, but. I found that kind of intriguing. Nebraska's class continues to get better. So welcome aboard, Jaden Travers. Hopefully, as we know with recruiting, nothing is secured till they sign on the dotted line. And then now in the modern day of college football, who knows what kind of twists and turns this can take. But hopefully will be a very beneficial signing for Nebraska.
All right, Bock, Nebraska is also in the mix for Bryce Williams, a 2027 4-star cornerback who just decommitted from Florida State.
Yeah, you'd like to see it. Again, this 2027 class, if you look at it right now, starting to build. They have 7 commits to it at this point. Again, there was only 10 in last year's class. They're going to have more room in this class, of course, led by Trey Taylor, Torrey Pittman, some of those guys you mentioned earlier. Jabari Watkins, by the way, a guy from your neighborhood, as we were talking about earlier, at least had playing his prep ball in Georgia. So it's building well right now, ranked 5th overall in the country. So good start to that class, and we'll see if they're going to add, of course, like you said, names to look out for, but of course they're going to add a lot more to it, and off to a good start. All of that, of course, they need to have some success on the field coming up, or these guys again can make different decisions, and who knows these days of college football what 1 year away will look like, but. It's fun to kind of get a little bit more into the excitement for a highly ranked recruiting class again after basically taking this year off from that.
Have kids taken recruiting too far, Bock, where you have to do it at halftime of your state championship game? I mean, announcing it is just good for me, but we've gone so far out of recruiting and tactics that these kids can come up with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you got to be creative, and it's tough to do something that hasn't been done before. The hat ceremony, I always kind of like that sort of stuff, but again, that's been done. We've seen guys bring up Bulldogs if they're committing to Georgia. I mean, I have fun in that. I would probably try to keep that out of a halftime. Obviously, you want to have the focus on the game, so I think there can be steps taken too far, but it's part of the fun, and it's interesting. Just again, as we look at some of the declarations that Nebraska football players are making that are seniors that they're going to the NFL, and I think they have to do that to try to get an NFL draft combine, but invite anyway. Just seems like everybody wants to have their time and take it, make the most of that opportunity. So hey, if I was a high school recruit, I'd probably have some fun with it. So I can't blame them too much.
What's the most craziest thing you probably ever seen?
Like I said, the Bulldog comes to mind. I like that one.
What about a kid just walking out of the cornfield and say, I'm home? Hey, I'm a Cornhusker walking out of the cornfield.
Yeah, that could work.
With some overalls on. You know what I'm saying? I'm home.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. See, I just gave you some. Give
an idea.
Matt Rule's going to be, next thing you know, not the cow this year, Bob. They're going to be coming out the cornfield.
They did a little bit with cornfields last year. So
detasseling, though. They don't have to work for it. The hard part of it, Bob.
Oh, I know all about detasseling. I lasted 3 days.
Oh, I don't. My uncle had a fence company in Georgia, and me and my cousin, we was trying to dump concrete in a bucket. You know, the big heavy bags.
Yeah.
And when we dumped it in there and all the dust came flying in our eyes, we was about 11, 12 years old. But I can do fence work too.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Learn the skill.
Too old now. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock and the Black Shirt. We'll be right back.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain in the letter x.com/AI.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Husker fans watch women's basketball, so we can't wait to see you in the stands at Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. Single game tickets start at just $12, making it easier than ever to watch the Huskers from the best seat in the house. Don't miss your chance to witness the energy, the hustle, and the heart of this team live in PBA. Huskers watch women's basketball, so get your tickets now at huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Make Hog Wild the centerpiece of your holiday meal. Pre-order a 4-pound boneless ham for $50, a 12-pound whole smoked turkey, or a 4-pound turkey breast for $55. A complete meal includes your choice of a whole turkey or turkey breast, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, green beans or corn, and a dozen rolls for $130. Pre-order online at GoHogWild.com soon. Quantities are limited. All weights are approximate before cooking. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Happy holidays, Nebraska. The Christmas event of the year is coming to the Lead Center. A Christmas Story, the musical, with all your favorite funny gags. The Fragile leg lamp, the Red Ryder BB gun, the ridiculous pink bunny suit, and more. All the fun of the movie, now with singing and dancing as seen on Broadway, with music by Pasek and Paul, the writers of The Greatest Showman. We triple dog dare you to get your tickets today. Leadcenter.org.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt, 93.7 The Ticket. We are on from 1 to 3, Monday through Friday. Bock, I bet you didn't know this right here.
Okay.
Troy Aikman said he's done with NIL after giving money to a UCLA player who left after 1 year.
Yeah, I assume they're talking about Dante Moore there. Quarterback.
Yeah.
Quarterback position there.
Yeah, he's still hot about that.
Well, I don't blame him, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that feel that, because I know he was frustrated too. He didn't get a thanks out of the door, and so that investment just kind of now helping Oregon go out there and compete for a national title while the UCLA team fell apart in front of them. So and to their credit, did bounce back under the interim coach and coaching staff and Baby Neuheisel and all that. But yeah, I mean, I think that donor fatigue that we kind of talked about, when would that land kind of in this NIL era, can certainly happen from being burnt like that. So yeah, not surprised by it. I'm sure there's plenty more folks that are in the same category as Troy Aikman, but of course, he has the floor to speak, and people will listen to him and hear from him. So kind of a big story there.
All right, Bock. Kurt Cignetti is the first coach to win back-to-back Walter Camp National Coach of the Year. How good is he, Bock?
It really is incredible. Again, I mean, I was looking through his, everything that was kind of going through the list of All-Americans that came out the other day. And depending on what source you went, but On Three specifically had 7 Indiana players as All-Americans. If you look at what he's done, it just reminds me of going and playing like NCAA 14 again and trying to take over a bad team. And 2 years in, you're undefeated, and you're like, well, they got to make this harder or something. But Kurt Cignetti's doing it in real life. Many of us have done that in the video game realm, but to do it in real life is incredible.
Tom Osborne.
Tom Osborne, what?
He did it.
Tom Osborne was.
He went back to back.
He won titles back to back. Yeah. He did not take over a program the level of where Indiana was.
Yeah, I mean, would there ever be another Kurt Cignetti, Bob?
Gonna be tough to find him. A reminder right now, James.
You know what? I'm gonna follow him on Twitter right
You
now.
are?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm following him.
Go
now.
follow him.
Yeah, he's my friend now. He's my Twitter friend.
But I mean, James Madison, I think you partially got to give him credit for that as well. They're in the playoffs this year, even with some of the players that he, of course, took over with him to Indiana. A large group of them stayed there, and of course, their coach, now going to be moving on, Bob Chesney, to UCLA after the season. But I don't know if there's enough attention on that either. I know you shouldn't get complete credit, but still, there's plenty of players I'm sure that committed to Coach Cignetti and some that developed underneath him that are playing over at James Madison for the playoffs as well. So just incredible to see what he's done. I mean, the only thing that I could compare it to in his 2 years would be what Kalen DeBoer did at Washington, and of course, getting them to the national championship game. But Washington's just historically, obviously, a good program. Indiana's nowhere close to that. But the year before Kalen DeBoer took over, Washington was in a very bad place. So, I mean, that's historically, I think, the only close to compare. I mean, I'd have to think. Of course, that's just within the last couple of years. But those runs, I mean, when DeBoer did it, I was like, I've never seen anything like this before. Now, with Cignetti kind of doing the same thing at a lesser school, it's new, a new thing I haven't seen done before.
Especially if they win the national title, Bob.
Oh yeah.
If they win the national title, just watch out. I'll be in Indiana if they do.
You're gonna go.
I'm going to Indiana in January.
Yeah.
I want to see my grandbaby. Have to go see her. Her birthday's coming up.
Pretty close to Bloomington?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's like an hour or something away.
Yeah, you might want to go make a stop there. It would be incredible.
Should I just go drop my resume off at a radio station in Bloomington?
Hey, I wouldn't go that far.
I'll become a Hoosier radio announcer. Kurt Cignetti for the win! Yeah. So but I would never turn my back on Nebraska.
Don't bandwagon us.
Yeah, I wouldn't, man. I'd rather coach a high school in Lincoln if I could, or at least help out. You everywhere you want to go, you want to make it better somewhere. So I think the city of Lincoln needs to step up. I mean, you got plenty of guys here who's willing to help in Lincoln. You got plenty of ex-Huskers who's here. I mean, instead of hiring a shop teacher, hire a real football player. Nothing against shop teachers and algebra teachers, but if you want your school to win, you got plenty of guys in Lincoln around here to help build a program up.
Yeah, that certainly wouldn't be a bad idea. You want to get into coaching?
I would want to help.
Yeah, you want to be an assistant.
Yeah, I'll be an assistant. I'll be a linebacker coach.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Teach you some technique. I mean, you always want to give your knowledge on things, instead of giving knowledge on the radio every day. How about help give it knowledge on the field also?
Would you be an edge rush coach, you think?
No.
You're just a linebacker.
No, I'm a linebacker. I started off as a defensive end in high school. I was a slash defensive end slash linebacker.
Yeah.
So it was the only reason I was on the line in high school because that's if I had a tight end on my side. If I didn't have a tight end on my side, I backed off like an outside linebacker.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna necessarily hire you down there at the University of Nebraska, but they are closing in on an edge rush hire themselves. So I did want to bring that up real quick. Football Scoop reporting that Nebraska closing in on Roy Manning, who coached at San Diego State, of course, with Nebraska's new defensive coordinator that they're bringing in, Rob Arridge. So we'll see. We expect it, and you've been a proponent of the defensive coordinator, the new defensive coordinator being able to bring some guys with him. Again, nothing is official. This is just a football Scoop report at this point that they're going after him, not even that they've hired him, but you would think with his connection to Rob Arridge, a pretty good possibility there. It opens up a lot of questions if they do close in on him. Of course, you can have as many coaches as you need. They've got think about a linebackers coach. They got an outside linebackers coach. Of course, don't currently have a defensive line coach. So would hiring an edge rush, edge coach from San Diego State, would that be to fill the defensive line position? Would that maybe open up something for Phil Simpson to do if he's taking on the edge rushers? Is outside linebacker going to be a different coach than edge? Again, you can have as many coaches as you want. So a lot of different questions there. They haven't necessarily made anything official, but Roy Manning certainly a name to look out for, and for somebody for the new defensive coordinator to bring along with him.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah,
he's been in Oklahoma, USC, San Diego State. He's making his rounds.
Yeah, Washington State,
He's
Michigan.
a Saginaw, Michigan guy. I got people from Saginaw, Michigan.
You do?
My auntie was from Saginaw, Michigan on my mom's side. My dad was born in Michigan. Yeah, so. All right, Bock, let's go to break. And when we come back, we'll talk more college football. We'll talk a little NFL, Bock. You want to talk some Arizona Cardinals?
Not really.
Me neither. I don't even want to talk Atlanta Falcons. So 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and it's that time of the year again. Time for the annual Happy Honda Days at Honda of Lincoln. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, to tell us all about it.
The exciting news is we have more selection and more savings. We have over 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from, with a great opportunity to get year-end savings on every remaining new 2025.
Do you have some Happy Honda Days specials?
Sure do, Charlie. For example, you can lease a new 2025 Accord Sport Hybrid for just $349 a month, and we have financing from just 0% APR. We've also included over 125 pre-owned of all makes and models, and as always, our certified pre-owns are in this sale as well.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Join Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, for upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. Get 12% off parts the day of your local event. Can't make it? You can still save 10% on parts and 20% off planter parts December 1st through the 12th. It's the best time of the year to stock up on oil and filters. Grab John Deere gifts for under the tree and schedule your service inspections. Don't miss out. These deals only come around once a year at Landmark Implement. Find your nearest expo at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Are you ready to make a difference this holiday season? Schwiezo Construction and TMCO are hosting a diaper drive December 5th through the 19th. They're collecting diapers, pull-ups, and wipes to benefit TMCO Prep Academy, the Nebraska Diaper Bank, and Forward. Drop off your donations at Schwiezo Construction, 93.7 The Ticket, Pine Lake Self-Storage, or White Elm Brewery. Together, we care for our community. For more information, please visit Schwiezo Construction's website or Facebook page today.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock in the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock in the Black Shirt here at 93.7 The Ticket. We are on Monday through Friday from 1 to 3, and we are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
Barrett.
Excavating.
Shout out to the Bauer crew out there working hard. All right, Bock, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, Bock. Oh, man, I hate stuff like this. Sharon Moore, Bock, he was fired yesterday, probably around 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that 2 to 3 hour time span after that, Bock, he was arrested.
Yes.
I hate talking about stuff like this, Bock, because now you put people's, now I would say personal business out there, but you're destroying his life, his family's life. You're destroying this young lady's life. It's wrong on all levels because you have to be aware of university policies, just like regular job policies. We have ticket policy. We have policy here at the Ticket that we have to follow through. And if we go wrong, we get fired. So, I'm not speaking out against his fire. I'm speaking out because how much information has been put out.
Well, yeah, and that's the frustrating part of this, and we're not going to go too deep into the details. I see we got a text here with a lot of details, but it's tough to know, in the modern age, what's kind of waiting for to get all the information from a reliable source or the way to phrase it. But really, it looks like an ugly breakup. Obviously, with Michigan, what we do know is obviously an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, and then, like you said, leading to him being in custody on suspect of alleged assault. So just a ugly situation there at Michigan. The interesting details that I do find interesting, I should say, that we could talk about, because I don't like you. I don't want to get in the personal life. I mean, Coach Moore does have a family and kids and all that. So don't want to get too far into that. And those details will come out. And again, when those are more ironed out, we can talk about them maybe if you're interested in that. But is that Michigan might have known or thought that they knew about this relationship at the beginning of the season. So this is something that necessarily, I know Josh Bates kind of put out there that they were kind of waiting until they had concrete evidence. But we're kind of planning for a move for quite some time here. So it's interesting just to see how that kind of played out, how Michigan was able to battle through that, the drama that's going on behind those doors. And if you kind of take Sharon Moore out of it, it's just it's an interesting job opening now, right? Is because the amount of scandals, of course, obviously kind of the cheating scandals that you had there under Coach Harbaugh. They had some like personal info scandal going out there, before that. Now this just seems like a lot going on with that coaching staff. And so there's going to be an opportunity for Michigan, if they've had time to kind of reflect and prepare and try to get a top candidate available to them. Maybe they can move quickly and get a good replacement in there. If not, it'll be interesting to see kind of the pool of candidates that they go after or what kind of comes out of all of this. Because certainly could open up another job. This is, pretty much after the coaching cycle has played its way through for the most part. So just another time to kind of open it up. But I'm interested in specifically Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter. Are they going to be interested in a name like that, a guy that might have an opportunity at the NFL once the season comes to an end? So a guy that's going to get a head coaching spot as long as the Chargers defense doesn't fall out from underneath him. Do you want to keep it within the family, within that coaching tree? A Michigan man, so to speak, but more specifically under that Harbaugh coaching tree.
No,
or do you want to get out of it?
Get away from Harbaugh. Anybody that deals with him, because if you read, I seen a list earlier of all the people who went to jail that was coaching up under him, and it was several people names on there. I mean, if you're gonna do all that, you might as well let Connor Stallion coach the team. But this is a bad situation, Bock. And like I said, I don't want to talk about it too much. But when we talk about the candidates, we asked ourselves, Bock, who would take this job? A lot of people are talking about what's his name?
Kalen DeBoer.
Kalen DeBoer.
Kind of go floating around. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I hate to see him leave Alabama. I think that opens the door up for a return to Nick Saban if that was probably to happen. A lot of people say Lane Kiffin will leave LSU for, not even on the job a month, and he'll leave there to go to Alabama. So, it's kind of crazy when we look at it, but yeah, it's crazy, man.
Well, it's just, again, the big jobs that have come open this offseason, with the LSUs and the Penn States and the Floridas, and now, throw Michigan's name in there. These are top 10 jobs, in college football. And some of them have probably landed in places that they'd like to. Others might feel, oh, well, maybe this hiring cycle wasn't necessarily for us to win it. But again, Michigan, you throw a name out there and it's likely a possibility. I mean, Michigan is one of those top jobs, proven, obviously, that you can still win a national championship there. I think that would have been something, post these last 5 years and even these last couple of years of finally crossing that line of if you could still win a title at Michigan in the modern day. Well, yeah, it's proven. Again, you just kind of wonder, is anybody going to be say thanks, no thanks, just because of all the scandals that have been going on around there? And then, of course, obviously for everybody, it's going to have to make sense for them. Kalen DeBoer is such an interesting name too, for a lot of different reasons. Obviously, has Midwestern ties from before, even coached in the state of Michigan for a while there. But it's just intriguing because Alabama is a team that's in the playoffs, probably shouldn't be, right? 3-loss team. You didn't want to hurt them for having played in the SEC championship game, but it doesn't have the as much job security as you might think for a playoff coach. Obviously, with the Crimson Tide, because things have not been going the way that they were under Coach Saban. So could be an opportunity for him to kind of get a refresh, reset that job security back to 100%, if you will, and see if you can build the expectations at Michigan. Obviously, would be high, but not the same of what they're going to be down there in Tuscaloosa going into year 3 for him.
All right, Bock, we got the Heisman coming up Saturday, Bock. Now, Mendoza has been named Walter Cup Player of the Year. He's racking up on the awards now. I think the AP comes out with their All-American team. I can pretty much guarantee you that he wins the Heisman, Bock.
I think it's going to be interesting. If I was going to lean one way or the other, it would be him. I think him and Diego Pavia are really kind of the two finalists that it's coming down. Obviously, you get the 4 semifinalists to send them out there to New York, but I think it's coming down to those guys. And I don't know. I mean, the door is somewhat left open. Pavia was not able, obviously, to play in a championship game. Did Mendoza do enough to close that door? You can argue one way or the other. Obviously, they didn't score a whole lot of points in that game, but made some big throws to clinch it. And obviously, just overall, you kind of got this. The story of college football is Indiana, and so oftentimes the Heisman Trophy, if you didn't have a standout, just incredible year from somebody, a lot of times it would go back to the quarterback for the best team or one of the best teams toward the end of the season, and for good reason. Of course, they helped bring them there. That's part of the story of college football. So I wouldn't go as far as almost guarantee you. I would not write it in pen or marker, but I would pencil in Mendoza. But I think Pavia's got a shot.
Yeah, he got a slim shot to me, Bock. Bock, I'm a big fan of Dan Lanning. I like his style. Not a fan of Oregon, though, but I like his style.
Yeah.
He says anybody that's complaining that they're not in the CFP, that means they didn't win enough. He said it's your fault if you didn't make it. Win more games.
Yeah, I like to see that too. I especially appreciate it from Clark Lee, who basically said as much. And of course, his team in a similar position to Notre Dame. They got a bowl game against Iowa, and they're excited to go to that bowl game. They they're not sitting back there thinking they deserve to be in this way or that way or the other. Especially if you're losing 3 games or 2 games in a year, you might be out. That's kind of the risk you take by going 10-2. You can have an argument, hey, we deserve to be over this other 10-2 team here and there, but the real deal is to go out there and win. The latest for Notre Dame has been kind of interesting. They reportedly declined a bid to play BYU in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, so that would have been a lot of fun if they did go out after that. Also, we're seeing that after learning of Notre Dame's memorandum of understanding that grants the Irish preferential playoff access starting next year, reports are athletic directors in other leagues are threatening to freeze Notre Dame out of future schedules. So people are not reacting well to Notre Dame kind of throwing this hissy fit. And it's impacting lives as well. A Notre Dame bookstore had to cancel a signing this past Friday from Ivan Mizell, who wrote a book on Frank Leahy, one of their all-time greats at the coaching position. But the problem is Ivan Mizell is a member of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, and so they were worried about people, having a protest or feeling some type of way about him being in town. He was quoted saying, "I'm disappointed. I look forward to hearing people out and talking about my book." So I think they're postponing it more so than canceling it. Just trying to let the heat die down a little bit there in South Bend. But again, I think for most people, you could see this coming if championship weekend played out as it did. Basically, if Duke beat Virginia for the ACC championship, somebody was going to be left out, and it was going to be either the ACC, Notre Dame, or Alabama. And again, Alabama, this is the second time, in my opinion, that they don't deserve to be in the playoffs and have been in. So they seem to get that pass. Notre Dame looking to get that pass into the future, but didn't have it written in ink this past year. I'm shocked at how surprised Notre Dame is that they're out, especially given that they lost the head-to-head to Miami.
Yeah. When we talk about, just football in general, you have to talk about, I feel for the kids, for the teams that bowed down and bowed out of the bowl games when we talk about it. But because now you have guys, Notre Dame never talked about the guys who transferred in. They never talked about the seniors who don't get to go to bowl games, but the freshmen who don't get to go to bowl games. So you're telling me every year, if you don't make the playoffs, you want to be one of those guys who don't go to a bowl game. Well, I think a rule should be implemented in the Bock that if you don't make it to the playoffs and you don't go to a bowl game, you don't go next year either, Bock. So, you have to make it harder for these universities, especially the ones that bowed out. I can really understand when we talk about Kansas State and Iowa State, but hey, they got intern coaches for that, Bock. We seen coaches leave right after the season. It's not stopping Mississippi Ole Miss from playing because they're playing in the playoffs. They didn't say, "Oh, we're not going to go. We don't have our coach." The Big 12 fined these schools $500,000 each. It looks like you don't care about the money part because you're going to give away $500,000, and that's money you could have made for the bowl game for your NIL collective. So, I just think it's just too much. NCAA really needs to change these habits and these ways that they have in college football because it's going to destroy it, Bock, one day. One day we're just going to wake up and it's going to be just the NFL.
Well, and I think at some point, you make money on these bowl games, all that. I got to be honest, it's fun to have some of these matchups, but even Nebraska looks like, as I've been putting a skeleton or a Frankenstein version of what this team was. And again, so I think you have to change the way that you look at bowl games, not do the traditional, okay, this is the cap of that season, and let's look at this as if it was a regular season game, because there's just so many moving parts on these teams at this point. But again, I go back to it. If you when you expand the playoffs, when you make it this big deal, when you include, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, all that sort of stuff, your historic kind of big time bowl games in the playoff, then you belittle the bowl systems. And so I think you're going to see more and more of this happen over the years. Like you said, maybe you could do something to try to prevent it, but it's really in a weird spot. It's just an exhibition game. Again, money to be made. And as long as there's money to be made, you might continue doing it. But
free hotels, free gifts.
Yeah.
It seems like we showing bad sportsmanship. And plus, you're showing that you're a bunch of quitters when you decline bowl games like that. I mean, you're showing the baby side of your university, and it's going to come back and smack Notre Dame in the face. I mean, it really will, because now we got to say, hey, join a conference or you might be in jeopardy of being left out every year.
We'll see. Again, there seems to be a moving sentiment about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the response to this. Of course, they've long had the special rules of college football. Again, they have that. They're going to have that in writing going into next year, to where if they finish in the top 12, that they would be getting in. So,
no, if they don't go, suspend them. Just don't rank them at all. Ineligible. They're ineligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, when you talk about that part, make them ineligible and make them feel the heat.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. Does the NCAA have power to do that? That's been a big part of the problem. Certainly they could. What would be the response, the retaliation, all that sort of stuff? And again, to me, I don't know. Are bowl games that important to try to take out one of your main players for the national championship going into next year just because you're frustrated they go to a bowl game? I mean, again, half the reason people are looking forward to these bowl games are Pop-Tart mascots and dumping mayonnaise on each other. It's lost its meaning to me.
It's
so
fun. I mean,
sure, but it's a risk
bowl
of injury.
Games, but who thinks about that, Bock? You're thinking about finishing your career. You're thinking about going out on top. Nobody wants to be. If you're a 6-6 team, hey, you want to win that game to be 7-6. If you're Nebraska, you want to be 8-5. So it's not about who's going to get hurt. I mean, if it's meant to be, Bock, you're going to get hurt regardless if you don't play or do play, because it's not up to you when you get hurt. It's how you get hurt. I mean, you can get hurt just like the Indiana guy giving high five to somebody, Bock. Yeah. It's not just about getting hurt on the football field. This guy got hurt high fiving somebody at the Big Ten championship game, and look at him. He's out for the year.
But like Kansas State and Iowa State, part of this is the transfer portal class open up. Obviously you're worried about your own retention, especially when your coach leaves. All your kids can leave without any penalty or whatever at any time. And so I get it, but again, I keep going back to it. If you as a sport put so much emphasis on the playoff and continue to do so and belittle bowl games to where they are now, and then come back and say, hey, you're not taking bowl games seriously enough. Well, you paved the way for that. So now that's going to happen. So Iowa State and Kansas State, yeah, there's money to be made. There's experiences to be had at bowl games. They've decided their chance at a playoff in 2027 is more important than, playing a bowl game at the end of 2025.
Well, they was punished accordingly, Bock. They was punished $500,000. You have nobody to punish Notre Dame. Who's going to punish them? They're independent.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be over this school, just like there's somebody over the Nebraska, the Big Ten, the Ohio State's the Big Ten, the Georgias, the Alabamas, the SEC. As long as Notre Dame doesn't have anybody over them, they're going to try to do what they want in college football.
Well, and they have.
And they've been getting away with it for years.
It's a similar thing to what I said about the playoffs. If you preferential treat Notre Dame, I mean, maybe we shouldn't be so as surprised that they didn't get their way, because they get their way in every other situation. So the fact that they finally didn't happen, and now they get to feel like a normal team out there, that sometimes everything's not paved in their direction, then they're going to throw a fit about it. But that's part of their deal is they've already, but from the BCS time, in the BCS, if they went 10-2, regardless of schedule, they were in a BCS game. They've already just kind of had their special preferential treatment, and now they're frustrated they're not getting it.
Well, that's for a school who hasn't won a national title since 1988.
Yeah.
Well, win more. Just like Dan Landon said, make it to the big game and win it. Just don't make it and start making up lies about somebody catfishing you and stuff. But 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt. We'll be right back.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Make plans to be at the Icebox on Saturday, December 13th for Teddy Bear Toss Night as the Stars host the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Bring a teddy bear or stuffed animal from home or purchase one at the game. When the Stars score their first goal of the game, it's time to throw the bears and stuffed animals onto the ice, with all being donated to the Community Action Partnership of Lancaster and Saunders counties to help local children in need during the holidays. That's the Teddy Bear Toss on Saturday, December 13th with the Lincoln Stars.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and it's that time of the year again. Time for the annual Happy Honda Days at Honda of Lincoln. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, to tell us all about it.
The exciting news is we have more selection and more savings. We have over 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from, with a great opportunity to get year-end savings on every remaining new 2025.
Do you have some Happy Honda Days specials?
Sure do, Charlie. For example, you can lease a new 2025 Accord Sport Hybrid for just $349 a month, and we have financing from just 0% APR. We've also included over 125 pre-owned of all makes and models, And as always, our certified pre-owns are in this sale as well.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your wake at forecast for today. We'll see partly sunny skies with a light breeze and an afternoon high around 50. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies, be breezy, the low around 26. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly cloudy skies, be breezy and colder, an afternoon high near 34. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The holidays are here, and there's every reason to make Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina part of your plans. Are you heading to a Nebraska basketball game? Stop at Tipsy Tina's before or after for delicious tacos. Meeting friends for drinks for an ugly sweater get-together? Enjoy Tipsy Tina's variety of margaritas. And if you're not sure about what to get for a gift this year, Tipsy Tina's gift cards are always a great idea. Don't forget about the event space at Salt next door to Tipsy Tina's, all of them located in the Haymarket at 8th and Q.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Bock, you got anything?
No, I just wanted to remind people, if they're just tuning in, maybe a little bit of the news of the day, if you will, as far as Nebraska and their coaching staff. Football Scoop reporting that Nebraska is targeting Roy Manning, an edge coach there from San Diego State. Of course, he was just there 1 year this past year with Rob Orich, who coached at San Diego State as well, Nebraska's new defensive coordinator. So it looks like Nebraska might be going after a little bit of help from Orich, which is to be expected, obviously, when you bring a defensive coordinator in. If you look at Roy Manning's career, again, this past year, the edge rush coach at San Diego State was the outside linebacker coach, assistant head coach for USC in 2022 and 2023. Before that, was with Lincoln Riley as the cornerback coach at Oklahoma from 2019 to 2021. Has coached at UCLA, Washington State, and Michigan before that from 2014 to 2018 in three different stints there. Cornerback coach, outside linebacker coach, that sort of stuff. So again, right now it's just Football Scoop reporting that. We don't know if this would be for an edge rush position. Nebraska doesn't have that as of right now, but I wouldn't just assume Roy Manning just to be an edge rush coach, again, because he's had the outside linebackers jobs at Washington State, UCLA, and at USC. He's had defensive back jobs as well. But of course, right now, the opening for Nebraska is at defensive line. So that could be a possibility. Obviously, you've got two linebacker coaches now. Maybe could fill in for one of those, or maybe shuffle the staff up. We'll see how it kind of lands. It's nothing official, but just wanted to update folks on that and the latest going on with the Husker coaching staff. At least rumors and circulation of all that. Some of the other stuff I wanted to get to as far as updating on college football. Chip Kelly has interviewed for the open Georgia Tech coordinator job. A lot of people interested where Chip Kelly would land. Would this be an interesting, would you be interested? I know you're a Georgia fan. You don't want Chip Kelly.
No.
Why is this?
Because he's terrible. He's terrible. Go back and coach the Pac-10 over there.
Well, I mean,
we have a nice quarterback. Whoever's the Georgia Tech coordinator, we just copy his playbook because there's no way in hell that Haynes Kings needs to be back there dropping down 50 times the pass, Bock. He's did great. He's the ACC Player of the Year for a reason, Bock, not for any other stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, Haynes King will be gone. He's a senior.
Oh no!
So that's going to be one thing. But yeah, I mean, it would be theoretically a change in how Georgia Tech kind of goes about things. Of course, Nebraska grabbing their offensive line coach from this past year, Jeep Wade. So maybe a change is happening one way or the other. But I've been interested. Of course, Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator for Ohio State this time last year, helping lead them to that national championship. The short stint in Las Vegas did not work out well, and so a lot of people were kind of wondering where he would land. I thought maybe it might have opportunities to be a head coach if he wants to kind of go that route, but apparently that stint with the Raiders knocked him down a patch or two, or whatever the case may be. Now he's got he just interviewed for it. This is not official yet. Another thing that's kind of interesting in those circles, as far as assistant coaches go, Penn State defensive coordinator Jim Knowles not being retained by Matt Campbell, instead expected to land at Tennessee. So these were both the defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator for last year's national champion, Ohio State. And less than a year from then, they both took separate jobs, different jobs. Both of them failed at those places enough to get fired or not to be retained in any case, in Jim Knowles' case. And now out there again. Again, I think both of them have proven it. They're the most latest national champions as far as offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators in college football. So obviously Tennessee would be a good landing spot for Knowles. Interesting that things didn't work there at Penn State after his somewhat meteoric rise, from Oklahoma State to Ohio State in the national championship.
Well, Bock, they always tell you the green is always greener on the other side. Not in some cases. I think Ohio State's perfectly fine with Matt Patricia, who probably has one of the best defenses we've seen in a long time. When we talk about that, Jim Knowles went into a system that he thought that would work at Penn State. Didn't have the players on defense like he had at Ohio State, so that cost him his job.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly, on the other hand, he's just greedy. Wants to be something that, he was better at Oregon than he was any other stop in college football.
Yeah, he has been. So that's kind of interesting. I still think that he would be, at UCLA, he was solid, not great. And they kind of chased him out of town for that. Don't know if they have done any better since, obviously. So that's kind of interesting on its own. But now they're moving on again to Bob Chesney, the current James Madison head coach. It is getting closer to award season. We do know one winner of award season will be Jacob Rodriguez, who won the Lombardi Award for the first time for Texas Tech. So that is a big accomplishment for Jacob Rodriguez. Nebraska's got a few of these Lombardi Awards in their trophy case as well. I think Nebraska, at least last time I checked, had the most of anybody. I think maybe tied with Notre Dame at this point with 5 of them. Of course, it's been a while for the Huskers, and Dominican Sue, the last Lombardi Award winner for the Huskers. But Grant Wistrom won it before. Dean Steinkuhler and Dave Remington actually won them back-to-back in 82 and 83. Rich Glover, the first Lombardi Award winner for Nebraska. Again, Nebraska not necessarily in the discussion here with Jacob Rodriguez of Texas Tech going home with it. The Lombardi Award, by the way, is given out annually to the college football player who best embodies the values and spirit of NFL's legendary coach, Vince Lombardi.
All right, Bob, when we talk, let's go back to the Michigan, not coaches talk, but how long should Michigan wait to get a coach? I think when we talk about the coaches search now, it needs to happen ASAP.
Yeah, that's what makes it interesting is, again, that Michigan and Ward Manuel, their athletic director, reports are now coming out that this has been something that has been in motion for a while. They just had to get concrete evidence of it going down. Of course, now they've had that, so they were firing. Of course, Coach Sharon Moore with cause. And so, all along, so the reports are now back to September that they knew this might be in the water or something that they might have to deal with moving into the future. So I think they've probably got their list. They've, if he's if he's a halfway smart athletic director, he would have a list, have made some calls, made some discussions. But they got to move quick. They don't necessarily need to do it. They're throughout all this, Michigan does have a bowl game against Texas coming up this year. I think Biff Poggi, of course, Poggi, who was the interim coach for the Nebraska game this year, got a win against Nebraska, unfortunately, and talked to his halftime, talk about his halftime thoughts there went viral because he thought Nebraska was not near as physical as Michigan, and of course that played out on the field. But he's the interim coach, so they can kind of get through it there. But I mean, we know in college football, the transfer portal opening is going to be huge. And then you talk about retaining players, and Bryce Underwood obviously is the focal point here. I believe that his, he was paid a hefty sum to get to Ann Arbor. I think a large part of that due to the owner of Barstool. And I think he said he's going to kind of come off of that deal as well. So just a lot to be figured out at Michigan. I think obviously the sooner the better. If they've got a short list and some names that they've probably been floating out to agents throughout the season. But it had to be an interesting time at Michigan watching some guys that I'm sure were on that list or guys that they would be interested in taking some of these other jobs while they're still trying to work out their own problem and find a way to fire Coach Sharon Moore.
All right, Bock. Creighton women's volleyball eliminates Arizona State. Jays move onto the region finals for the second straight year, where they run by this club. Now they're just one win away from its first Final Four, Bock.
Yeah, I don't want to speak too highly of Creighton, but I suppose
You gotta say, Bock, we're Nebraska. We're Nebraska. We're not just.
We are Lincoln.
We are, but we celebrate the whole state of Nebraska, Bock. Don't you do it like that, Bock.
You could celebrate the whole state of Nebraska.
Bock,
I don't want to celebrate
I'm just saying that to have a Creighton Nebraska final, could that be in the mix?
That could be a possibility. That would be the exciting part of it if they were able to make it all the way. To your point, they've done well. Moving on past Arizona State today. And they're the 3 seed in that region. So Arizona State, at least if you go by the seeding there, should have made it to the final. They'll have likely Kentucky unless Cal Poly can knock off Kentucky. Cal Poly has kind of been the Cinderella of the tournament so far, having knocked off the 5 seed BYU and 4 seed USC. They're in the Kentucky regional. So possibility there. And I'm being I'm just making jokes. Of course, I think it's incredible. And to your point, Nebraska, the volleyball state, as we like to call it, it's nice to kind of get some more representation. And Creighton didn't beat Nebraska this year. So, you don't have to have that type of feeling. Of course, nobody has beaten Nebraska this year, but an all Nebraska final would be incredible, especially, in Kansas City, not too far of a drive for many fans. And Husker fans likely, don't have to hold my breath, but very likely at this point to be there and to get there. Still some work to be done in front of them, but that would be a fun final.
All right, Bock, here are the odds to be the next Michigan head coach. Jed Fisher, 27%. Kalen DeBoer, 23%. Kenny Dillingham, 12%. Clark Lee, 6%. John Gruden, 6%. PJ Fleck, 5%. Marcus Freeman, 5%. And Jeff Brom, 5%.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by those. Again, a lot of people are pointing to DeBoer right away. I think Kenny Dillingham would be fascinating. Obviously one of the up and coming coaches. Seemed like it would take a lot to get him away from Arizona State. There were some conflicting feelings about it, and he's been very open with kind of doing things a little bit different, welcoming anybody that's going to enter the transfer portal to go ahead and play in the bowl game for Arizona State. So, but I mean, he's a rising coach in this industry. Very interesting situation in his own right, because Sam Leavitt, his star quarterback, is going to be entering the transfer portal. maybe would find his way to another spot in Ann Arbor if Dillingham ultimately made it there. So again, a lot of moving parts there. If I'm Michigan, I would take a long look at Coach Dillingham myself.
Yeah, I think he's probably, he's not going to get that support at Arizona State like people think he is. You're already losing your quarterback, Sam Levitt. And I would tell Sam, hey, Sam, let's go to Michigan together and make this thing, a me and you thing. So, if that could help, then, probably, you do it like that. But for right now, I think by the end of the week, Michigan, probably by Monday or something, Bock, they need to know who's going to be coach.
Yeah, you got to get this done. Again, for player retention and for the transfer portal, you don't have a whole lot of time to waste. If you want to make sure that this does not significantly hurt Michigan, their program, their development, all of that, it's almost impossible to say, obviously, not knowing who the next head coach will be and all these moving parts. If Underwood would turn all of that to even have an idea of what Michigan will look like or what the expectations will be going into next year, you move quickly, get a good hire, and you can kind of not take too far of a step back. You would think still kind of top 25 expectations and move the goalposts forward from there. So, it'll be critical that they move quickly. They cannot have the Penn State coaching search, if you will.
Yeah. All right, Bock, let's go to break, and we'll do the last segment. But then after me and Bock come back, it's time for Foreman and Orman in the old school. Thursday today. 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Are you ready to make a difference this holiday season? Schwiezo Construction and TMCO are hosting a diaper drive December 5th through the 19th. They're collecting diapers, pull-ups, and wipes to benefit TMCO Prep Academy, the Nebraska Diaper Bank, and Forward. Drop off your donations at Schwiezo Construction, 93.7 The Ticket, Pine Lake Self-Storage, or White Elm Brewery. Together, we care for our community. For more information, please visit Schwiezo Construction's website or Facebook page today. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your wake at forecast for today. We'll see partly sunny skies with a light breeze and an afternoon high around 50. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies, be breezy, the low around 26. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly cloudy skies, be breezy and colder, an afternoon high near 34. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We appreciate everybody every day who joins us for a little Bock and the Blackshirt. You know, I've been working with Bock for around 3-4 years now. And it's Bock's been the best help that I could have. You know, I wouldn't trade Bock for anybody else at this station, not even Jake Sorensen. So
there you go. That's high praise.
Yeah, you're a good person, Bock. You very knowledgeable of what you do, and I thank you for being that guy, man, who stayed down with me ever since the first day I started. So, you know, it's nice working, which I did start off with Big Slim Nick, but you know, I've graduated and went to Bock now.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing the show with you. It's been a fun ride, and more often than not, I've been able to tell you I know more about the games going on, but this year looks like you're going to get the better of me, and we're going to be even again.
It's not over with, Bob.
Not over
you know,
yet,
it's not over with till the fat lady sings. You're still 5 games down. I think we got like 3 or 4 games we're going to do this weekend. Then we got about 10 next week. So, hey, don't get your hopes up, man. It's always you remember, I think it was a baseball team. They was down a whole bunch of games, and they came back at the end of the year to take over. So,
Yeah. If you're down 3-0, you still got a chance.
Yeah, Bock, when we talk about basketball, it looks like your Detroit. I mean, your Boston Celtics are easing their way back up to the top, man. They're 15-9, only 4 games out of first place, Bock. When we talk about that, my Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks, 4-11.
Yeah, I was wondering too. I thought the Celtics had a little bit more punch to them this year than what it looked like initially. They started 0-3, and then, you know, even going into it a little bit further, you know, kind of hovering around 500. But they've done a really good job kind of turning it on. You remember, I always say everybody knows that Jason Tatum's out this year, but Jaylen Brown stepped it up. He's averaging 29 points per game. Last year's Sixth Man of the Year, Peyton Pritchard, moving in the starting lineup alongside Derek White, each averaging over 17 points a game. So it's been an interesting ride, and we'll see if they can get into the playoffs with a decent. Well, we're really just getting the playoffs. I don't really care. And then Jason Tatum's able to return. They could make a run for it. So that should be fun. But really, when you talk NBA right now, all of the focus should be on the Thunder. Of course, the defending champions blew out the Suns. They now match the 73-win Warriors with the 24-1 start, the best 25-game start in NBA history. They've outscored opponents by an average of 17.4 points per game this season. They are on a pace to obliterate the record from last season, where they beat teams by an average of 12.9 points per game. If you think, okay, all the 24-1 start, that's good, but I don't know if they're ever going to get to that 73 wins Oklahoma City has. Well, if you look at their last 82 regular season games, they're 72-10. So, as long as they continue doing what they've been doing.
What's the bet? Did Golden State ever beat that Chicago record?
They did. They got to 73-9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Bock, I got one more thing. 5769, he want me to read this.
Okay.
He said, how would Husker Nation feel if the new head coach for Michigan hires Bill Bush as their defensive coordinator? I would be happy for Bill.
Yeah.
I know Bill is anxious to get back out there to coach. I asked him the other day, I said, hey, Bill, what's up with coaching? He says something, he's talking, but a guy like Bill, I don't think he wants to be a radio guy full time because he's a football coach, and every football coach has that itch. And I love me some Bill Bush, man. I think he's one of the nicest persons you could ever meet. Very knowledgeable of the game. I mean, he's original. So when I talk about him being original, Bill is always himself. He's never tries to be something he's not. So, if he does get a job, I'll be happy for Bill Bush. And that's about it, Bob.
Yeah, no, I agree with that sentiment. He's done enough in his career. He's got enough of a great resume, obviously, that he doesn't have to just go to whatever job's offered to him. He can kind of sit back and pick and choose his spots. And of course, that's what he's been doing, having fun here at 93.7 The Ticket. And it's funny because every time there's an opening, his name comes up on the text line, and for good reason. Again, he's just he's been a part of some special teams, and here at Nebraska, obviously LSU is some of the other stops along the way. And then, of course, a lot of people remember fondly the last defensive coordinator here, even on an interim
to beat Iowa.
To beat Iowa. So,
yeah. Him and Mickey Joseph.
That's right.
In your face. Now, just playing. Thomas and Lincoln said, hi, Farley. Falcons suck. Go Panthers. Nebraska. I mean, the Falcons will play Tampa Bay tonight on Thursday Night Football.
Oh, they will. Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know, Bock. I don't know if this is the right coach for us. I'm just so.
Well, I think their last loss.
I'm sick of the Falcons just as much as I'm sick of Nebraska sometimes because I love both teams.
Well, that's fair enough. But the Falcons are 4-9, so Nebraska looks like a world beater compared to, obviously, football, the pro, a little bit different there. But as far as wins and losses, a reminder, they started 3-2. I mean, there was somewhat of a promising season kind of moving along, but they've completely fallen apart. Officially, with that last loss this past week, I believe, to the Seahawks, were eliminated from playoff contention. So along with my Cardinals, we make the joke we don't want to talk about them too much. Well, when they're eliminated from playoff contention, you're stuck as a fan. Do you want a better draft pick? Do you still want them to win? Just kind of an interesting situation. And then if you're with, myself, the Cardinals, doesn't matter what draft pick they have, they generally don't make the right one. So altogether, it's just a weird situation to be in. But Falcons eliminated. Of course, Tampa Bay is going to need the win, though, as if that was a Panthers guy talking trash, he should be cheering for the Falcons tonight, as the Bucks and Panthers are tied atop the NFC South at 7-6.
All right, Bock, let's get out of here. Up next, my little brother, Jay Foreman. Yeah, I say to my little
That's
brother.
right.
I'm older than him.
Oh.
He better bow down to me. I'm the oldest. Not this. Oh, man. I might have to come in here and do a podcast tonight, Bob.
Okay. What's that?
Emmett Johnson.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
He says 8:30 tonight.
There you go.
Might have to come and do a podcast, and we'll play it tomorrow on our show.
That would be great.
I have to see how it goes. 93.7 The Ticket. Stay tuned for Old School Thursdays. Thursday is in effect. We're out.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an